everybody. What's going on, LBHT crew? Hey, so sorry for the late start. We had some technical difficulties. We're going to be experiencing a little bit of technical difficulties tonight, so apologies ahead of time. There will be no animation right here tonight, okay? But the super chat still works, okay? LBHT Show. That's how you do it. And that pin link that you see in the comment, that'll take you to our stream elements. You can still donate. We can still read your comments on the air. Thank you very much. B, what is going on?
Guess we gotta talk some more about these Ravens and Bills, huh?
Yeah, buddy.
I just want it to be over already.
Boy.
I just want it to be over.
Why you want it to be over?
I want to watch it. I'm tired of talking about it. I want to see it.
Oh, well, look. It'll be Sunday before you know it. MJ is in the house, says, let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Thanks for coming through. Tracy's in the house. Shout out to Tracy. Thanks for coming through, Tracy.
What's up, Tracy?
Raven Ron's in the house, says, what up, LBHT? I got to run, but back for OT show. Okay. All right. Hey.
All right, Ron. We'll see you later.
Yeah, we'll see you later on the OT. We got some topics there to discuss as well. Our guy Hendo from Ravens Online Ungatekeeper says, LBHT crew, it's the most wonderful time of the week indeed.
What's up, Hendo?
Shout out to you, Hendo. Thanks for coming through. Yolanda's in the house, says, good evening, LBHT. Hope everyone is well. Thanks for coming through, Yolanda. See, D Weezy's in the house. Shout out to D Weezy, says, like the O's plays and Judge on the other side with the Bills. Oh, he's saying he likes the O's play with and Judge.
Yeah,
yes.
Fond of the Raven.
Okay. Just Aloe's in the house, says, hello, LBHT crew. I hope all is well. Hey, thanks for coming through. Zeke Hokage, what's going on? What's good, everybody? I hope everyone is having a wonderful Wednesday. Yes, indeed, it is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hope your week is going well, but if not, hopefully it gets better starting right now. We are streaming live on YouTube, Twitch. I got something from StreamYard said Twitch is down. Adelia? What's up, Adelia? Said Twitch might be down right now. So if you're looking for us on Twitch,
having a Twitch outage.
Yeah, that's on Twitch. We are also streaming live on Facebook and Twitter. So those are ways you can check this live. Also for our audio listeners, okay, we are audio podcast as well. Well, we are originally just an audio podcast. We've always been an audio podcast, but you can listen to us wherever. Davon? What's going on, Davon? You can listen to us wherever you listen to your podcast. Okay, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all the good stuff. Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to it, we are there. All right, and this will be out. What's up, Andre? The audio will be out on Thursday. Look, yes. We are the lunch break hot take. Okay, I just want to tell you guys something. We have never put anything out at lunchtime.
It's lunchtime for somebody. So
it's lunchtime for somebody.
There's people who work overnights. There's people who work late shifts. Look, it's lunchtime for somebody.
But Thursday. This is Wednesday now. Tomorrow lunchtime will be the first traditional lunch release. Okay, so for our audio listeners, I hope you are enjoying your lunch right now. Okay, yes. Filthy's in the house, says the media is on LJ's. They're on him. They on him now. When most of them didn't even have him as a top 10 QB coming into this season. Ha. Well, listen, that's all clickbait. You guys gotta understand, man. There's a part of the year where it's just slow sports wise, and this media is very savvy, and they there's more analytics than ever to tell them exactly what it is you guys are clicking on. And if Lamar Jackson is in the title, you guys are going to click on it. And what's going to get people to react to stuff more than anything? Anger. So when they put that Lamar Jackson hate out there, they know you're going to click on it. They know you're going to talk about it. They know that it's going to trend. And I want to give a shout out to Noah, who just donated $20. Noah, I'm sorry the animation isn't up, but I want to read your comment. It says, not to copy Hendo, but it's the best time of the week. LBHT Day. Indeed. Appreciate you. He says, Lamar been dialing this season, and I'm eating crow for being quick to critique him. I can't wait to see what he can do against these menaces in Buffalo. Hashtag 8 is the way. Hey, thank you, Noah. Thanks for coming through. Hey, look, listen, man. It's okay to have your opinion. Game at a time. But yeah, he's balling out, right? and we need them to continue to ball out because like you said, #8 is the way. There's no other way. Okay, let's read a couple more here. Zeke is ready. He says, Brodny, what Black History fact do you have for us today? All right, look. Okay, we'll get it started. And shout out to our guy Mikey from Off the Record Podcast. Soon to be Open Mic Podcast. Yes, indeed. Mm-hmm. That is coming real soon, guys. Production is in the works. Okay, production is in the works. And Davon, yes, says #keep pounding. Yes, we are going to discuss Panthers versus Cardinals. Okay, we got a Cardinals fan in the crowd. Shout out to Buck. Okay, we're gonna discuss that game. Obviously, we're going to discuss a lot of Ravens and Bills. Lamar versus Josh Allen. I see a lot of you guys throwing some shade at Josh Allen. I don't know if you want to do that. I don't know. We're gonna talk about it. Shout out to Suge Knight 1323 on Twitch. It's Suge Knight 323 on YouTube. Says, hey, I'm over here all by myself on Twitch supporting LBHT. So I guess we're up.
Yes.
I guess we're up.
What's
okay.
up, Suge?
Yes. Appreciate it. Appreciate you coming through King 95. Black Daniels in the house. Hey, he says, Jose, Brodny, LBHT crew. Hey, thank you all for coming through. But look, Zeke is ready for the Black History fact. Okay. And if you don't know, if you're new to the show, first of all, go ahead and hit that subscribe button or hit that follow if you're listening on the audio. We like to start every show with a Black History fact. And today, B has a Black History fact for you.
Yeah, so I just want to kind of celebrate the anniversary that's coming up here, or an anniversary is coming up here in a couple. Actually, I believe it's tomorrow officially. September 29th, 1975. Do you know what happened September 29th, 1975, was that?
75?
Yes.
Well, that was just a little bit before my time. No. What happened September 29th?
On September 29th, 1975, Dr. William V. Banks, who I have to read this because it's a long title. William V. Banks, who was an attorney, businessman, and founder of the Fraternal Order of the International Free and Accepted Modern Masons and Order of Eastern Stars.
Okay.
So that's the guy. What he did on September 29th, 1975 was he launched WGPR TV in Detroit, which is the first Black-owned TV station in the continental U.S. They kind of launched that station with the idea of having a lot of local TV, having local news, local shows, locally produced shows that would cater to the Black community, as well as other ethnic communities in Detroit. They had a show called Dino's the Greeks. They had shows produced for the Polish community there, but just a lot of the different ethnic communities in Detroit. They had a show called The Scene, which was kind of like Soul Train, where they would bring on guests and, it'd be kind of a dance show. They had Stevie Wonder and the Four Tops, among other people. So they were able to pull some people there. They tried a lot of different stuff. They did some syndication. They had I Spy with Bill Cosby, whatever. Rawhide.
I remember I Spy,
shows. But then they produced a lot of their own content, from soap operas to news shows, talk shows. They eventually went into like religious shows and doing a lot of gospel and things like that. But yeah, they were just they attracted a lot of young Black people who wanted to get into the industry. And at sometimes they said it was even hard to find Black people who could do the job, so they would hire white people, and part of their job was to train Black people in that profession.
Okay.
So the station lasted for about 20 years, up until the mid 90s, when they were bought by CBS, and then CBS promptly dropped all of the local content, and they kind of operated the station as one of the only affiliates that didn't have like a real local news show. So they just stopped serving the community altogether when CBS bought them.
Wow.
But then, later on, 2017, they in Detroit, they opened up a museum kind of dedicated to Mr. Banks and all his accomplishments. And in 2021, February 1st, 2021, they turned the station itself into a historic landmark. It's kind of preserving the accomplishment and their achievement there, and letting people learn about the first Black-owned TV station in the continental U.S.
Wow. Okay. That's something new. I did not know that. It's funny when you mentioned how they had to hire like like some like white
Yeah.
writer, whether they writers or producers,
Well, I
whatever.
mean, just in a lot of different fields, they specifically mentioned sales as well, like to get like ad sales because there just weren't many black people who are actually qualified to do that because there weren't many black people in that industry
It,
at
it
the time.
reminded me of the interview that Keenan Ivory Wayans had did when he started up at Living Color, right?
Mhm.
And he pitched it to Fox. It was on Fox, and like they were a little nervous about it because he's a little a
Yeah.
little edgy, right? And they got the NAACP involved, and the NAACP was trying to scrutinize every part of the show, and they're like, you know, do you have like like how many black writers do you have working on these skits or whatever? And he said, I tell you what, why don't you recommend some to me? And they didn't have any, right?
Right.
but what ended up happening out of that was he ended up hiring Paul Mooney.
Mm.
And homie the clown character
Yeah.
was based off of Paul Mooney, right? In fact, he said it wasn't it wasn't inspired by him, it was him, right?
Right.
Like Paul Mooney to say he said purposely get Paul Mooney mad in the writing room, right? Because when he was angry, that's when he was his funniest. So he would always mess with him, and he'd be like, "Nah, homie, don't play that. Homie, don't play that." So yeah, a little fun fact.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, okay, let's get this started. Ravens versus Bills. Hey, shout out to our guy OTR Mike and Engraven. They were on I forget the name of the channel. It's Jay the King, right? Is that his name?
Jay Spence, the King,
Jay Spence the King. Yeah, they're on his channel. Real cool guy. He's a Bills fan, Jay Spence, and a real cool conversation about the Bills versus Ravens. A lot of respect between those two teams. Mutual admiration for the quarterbacks. And if you guys don't know, man, Josh Allen is killing it right now. Yes, they took an L to Miami, so did we, but it wasn't because of Josh Allen. I can tell you that. Right. So, B, this is going to be, I think this is going to be a high scoring game. What are your thoughts on it?
I'm not sure it's going to be as high scoring as we're expecting. I know that both defenses, I mean, the Bills defense is really banged up. They just brought in Xavier Rhodes. They're missing a lot of guys in the secondary. The Ravens, I don't know how banged up they are, but they're the Ravens.
They're bad.
So
they're bad.
But there is supposed to be bad weather. It's supposed to be a lot of rain during the game. So I'm not sure how high scoring it'll be if that actually comes to pass. But one of the fans in Jay Spence the King stream made an interesting point. He was talking about Josh Allen and how the Bills lean on him like Superman. He's got to do everything. And I just kind of laughed. But then, he pointed out, he's like, Josh Allen accounts for 82% of their offense, which is just a few percent below Lamar Jackson, because they also do not have a run game. Now, obviously, he's got, elite wide receiver in Stephon Diggs and a couple other good ones in Gabriel Davis, Isaiah McKenzie. But yeah, they do rely on him essentially to go out there and be an unstoppable weapon. Right. And that's kind of what we've got with Lamar. So it's gonna be a lot of fun watching those guys kind of dueling back and forth.
Now, it's interesting you say that, right? Because the ball is always in the quarterback's hands. So you would think that the quarterback would account for a big chunk of that offense. But 82% seems very high.
Yeah, when Lamar won MVP, I believe he was in the, I want to say in the low 80s as well. And the next highest player was like 60 something. Because, a lot of quarterbacks, they don't run. They don't lead the team in rushing.
Right.
Lamar was over 1,000 yards that year. Josh Allen, I'm not sure how many rushing yards he has this year. I know it's over 100, but I'm not sure the exact number. But he runs a lot. And the running backs aren't really getting it done at this point. So those are two teams that are kind of really relying on those guys for everything.
Yeah.
Where if Josh Allen comes out of the game, who are the Bills? Really. And it's the same thing the same thing in Baltimore. Lamar Jackson's out of the game. We all know that the Baltimore Ravens aren't going to beat anybody.
Well, I'll say this. Man, and Lamar has a higher percentage. What is that, 85%? Sheesh, man.
I believe so right now.
So I'll say this. Who are they without Josh Allen in the game? I get that. Case Keenum Case Keenum has played with Stephon Diggs. That's one, right? So that connection is there. What they are is they are still they are still game with Case Keenum.
Well, you know my feelings about having Keenum on the case. All right, you're in good hands when Keenum's on the case. But just generally speaking, they won't have a run game. Their O-line will look considerably worse if Josh Allen's not out there able to evade rushers. So you kind of have similar situations. Just obviously Buffalo has put a little more talent around Josh Allen than Lamar, or the Ravens have Lamar.
Yeah.
With that said, I mean, that's kind of really what it's going to come down to. Whichever one of those guys has the better game is essentially who's going to be able to lead their team to the win, is what it looks like. In Baltimore, I mean, they really, really, really need that offensive line to step up this week.
Yeah.
That's going to be critical for them. And on the other side, Baltimore really needs their edge rushers to show up. It looks like Jason Pierre-Paul is yeah, it looks like Jason Pierre-Paul is going to play this week. Obviously always is a name on the depth chart. Not sure about Justin Houston, but they need some kind of production out of those guys. And Travis Jones will be there as well. We did learn, obviously, today that Michael Pierce is going to be out for the year. He's getting ready to have surgery. We heard from our guy Mills RX at Game Medicine on Twitter and YouTube that J.K. Dobbins also is dealing with mild bruised ribs. So that's obviously not great.
There's nothing mild about that,
right?
Okay. He's in a lot of pain.
Okay? Yeah, it's like a mild concussion, like a mild brain injury. It's not, it's your brain. It's hurt. Yeah. It's not mild.
Yeah. Like I love when they say, "Oh yeah, like he's got like a leg contusion or whatever." No, it's the biggest bruise that you've ever seen. Right. And if you had it, you would not go to work the next day. Yeah. Where you sit down.
Like, but I gotta walk to the desk.
Shout out to Justin Thompson. Thanks for coming through. It says Ravens willing this not going to be a shootout either. Oh, Ravens are winning this. I think he meant to say it's not going to be shootout either. A lot of Ravens discredit how they play games, meaning style wise, and how we dictate how other teams play. Usually, I hear where you're coming from. Right, styles make games. And I know you're probably thinking about the playoffs, but both teams were pretty healthy going into that game. They're missing their two starting safeties, and I think one of the quarterbacks as well. Yeah. Right. So they're really banged up right there. And this, we don't have nowhere near the type of edge rushers that we had before. Right.
Right.
And the secondary, I know they're young, but up to now they haven't been playing well. And I know Marlon Humphrey, he was kind of battling through a groin injury. He played. I think he played well last week though. And Peters is still kind of coming off his injury, so it's going maybe it takes a little time for him to get up to speed. But right now, it's you can't compare it to that team, and there's nothing that they've done up until this point that will make me suggest that this defense is going to do anything. That maybe get some turnovers, right? Maybe we can affect the game that way, but holding them to what do you think you're going to hold Josh Allen to? I'm curious. What do you guys think Josh Allen's going to get held to? He hasn't thrown less than 350 yards this year.
Yeah, he's over 1,000 yards for the season already. I don't think that there's any chance that the Ravens dictate to Buffalo what they're going to do. They don't have that kind of defense, and Buffalo is too good for that.
Not to say we can't win, though. Not to say we can't.
No, absolutely not. Yeah. Just that they're not. Buffalo's going to play their game. Baltimore's going to play their game. But like I said, it's going to come down to the lines on both sides of the ball, and if the offensive line can hold up, if Lamar can continue his stellar play up until this point, they need the absolute best out of him. But you got to have the O-line to support that.
Let's see. Filthy says, I don't think the Bulls are as good as media hyped about to be. I think he meant Bills. Listen, they're good. They're the same record as us, and I think they've had more impressive wins than we had. Right? They stomped out the Rams. Okay. The one loss that they had was a much closer loss than what we. Well, I won't say much closer. We blew that game, but it didn't look as bad for them, and that's a division rival. So they're good. I mean, you could say they're a little overhyped or whatever. Trust me, do not sleep on them. What's up, Buck? This is the Cardinals fan right here. He says, "Did I miss the Panthers Cards preview?" No, not yet. Not yet. That's coming up. Okay. Black Daniel says Allen is a physical athlete that can use his legs and not afraid to put his body on the line, says the talking heads. Yeah. The narrative around Josh Allen is different, right? Obviously. He's actually he was everything that critics were saying about Lamar coming into the league, right? One read quarterback. He did his best work rolling out of the pocket, run first. That was all Josh Allen. His first year was awful. Yeah, but he put in the work, and the team supported him with weapons. Okay, the O-line hasn't been great since then. I mean, I think initially they got him some O-line, and I'm not sure what happened, but it wasn't good.
Well, that's just one of those groups that's hard to maintain. It's five guys. It's hard to, Dallas had looked like they were going to have a dominant O-line for a decade, and 2 years later they were bad.
That's true. But they've helped him out a lot, and he's grown a lot. He's a completely different person. But yes, he runs almost as much as Lamar.
Well, he's what Cam Newton would be with talent around him. Yeah, and he's performing like it at this point. I mean, I think Cam was a bit more skilled, a bit more talented than Josh Allen. But I mean, that's what he is. He's not the same type of player as Lamar, obviously. But and at this point, like was mentioned earlier, Lamar's playing too good for anybody to really deny it. You don't have any argument against what Lamar Jackson has done through the first 3 weeks. So hopefully he can keep that going. Hopefully Josh Allen plays up to his ability and we get a really entertaining game. I think it's going to be much better than the hype job they tried to sell all last week with Green Bay and Tampa Bay, Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady, which turned out to be pretty boring.
A snoozer. It looked like two old men. That's what that looked like.
Yeah, shocking.
Right. Shout out to Joseph Burrows. Thank you for coming through to the live stream. Says Huntley was pretty good last year. That is incorrect, sir. He wasn't good. He wasn't good. I think he threw one touchdown in that 5-game stretch. All right.
I think he threw more than one, but he wasn't
two. Good. I think maybe two. He wasn't good. He wasn't good. He wasn't like a complete disaster, but nah, he wasn't good. And if he has to come in and take over, we're losing, right? Like we're not winning. That's just what it is. Why do we always play the Bills in bad weather? Is it going to be bad weather? Or is it going to be raining? Yeah. I mean, that's pretty mild for Baltimore.
Well, right? Because it's Buffalo and Baltimore. Those are your two choices, so it's going to be bad weather.
Yeah. Yolanda B says, Brodny, you are absolutely correct about the importance of the O-line and pass rush this week against the Bills.
Why, thank you, Yolanda. I was just going to get to that. I mean, they have Gregory Rousseau, who's got 3.5 sacks so far this year. Obviously, Von Miller, Jordan Phillips, AJ Epineza. It's going to be extremely difficult to protect Lamar.
Yes.
Those guys, Falalele, Moses, the interior, they have to have their absolute best game.
Yeah. Shout out to Living Legend, man. Thanks for coming through. Zico Kake says he's getting 450 yards talking about Josh Allen. Probably. Probably. But yes, the protection, man. Look, unfortunately, Falalele is only playing his second game ever as a left tackle. I think he's slotted to be a left tackle this week, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Because McCarthy's not coming back. They're talking about they're gonna see with Ryan Stanley, but he ain't gonna be playing. Like, we can stop that right now. He's not playing. So I mean, let's see what they can scheme up. The run game for both teams hasn't really gotten going. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna be. I'm sure
what they were hoping was, let's get J.K. Dobbins out there in week 3, get him, a limited number of carries, get him some work, and then kind of have give him a full workload for Buffalo so we can have the run game there.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he's a little banged up, so you don't know what you're going to get out of him. You're not going to lean on Justice Hill.
Right.
Even he had a good game last week, but you're not leaning on Justice Hill going up against the Bills.
Yeah. So that's really where it's going to be. That's a major disadvantage for us right there. Their D line against our O line, and then our D line against their O line. Their O line isn't great, but we don't have. I mean that D line was bad last week. We don't have pass rushing. I mean, we're hoping that a guy we just picked up off the street is the X factor. That's never good, right? I mean, we signed JPP. Okay, he was solid last year, but like you said, B, he's in decline.
Well, no, he wasn't solid last year. He was good. He was the year before. Last year, he had 2.5 sacks. Yep. So I mean, he went off the cliff last year.
That's two more than
he just
than what Owe has right now.
That's not nice. But he had surgery, I believe, in February. So maybe it was an injury holding him back last year. I doubt it, but you can hold out that hope if you want.
Zeke Okage says, "I'm correct, by the way." Thank you, Zeke.
That's right. I mean, I don't think we need to stop the show just to say when one of us is correct. But even then, beyond the well, I shouldn't say beyond. They're connected. You can't get a pass rush on Josh Allen. How long are you expecting Marlon Humphrey or Marcus Peters to hold Stephon Diggs? He's one of the best route runners in the league. You cannot. I know those guys were all pro corners. They've been paid and everything, but you can't ask any corner to cover a guy like that for that long.
If they're even covering them, it seems like they like to put Jalen Armour-Davis, right, and Pepe Williams on the other team's best wide receivers. I don't know what's going on with that, right? They should never be anywhere near Tyreek Hill. What is that? What is that? Right? I don't care about miscommunication. They're young. Why were they there?
Yeah.
Right? Look, I told you guys, no, I'm not accepting any excuses this year. This is the team that they handpicked. They wanted it this way. So this is how you have it. I don't want to hear the excuse about they're young. I know they're young. That's why I'm not a big fan of all those late 4th round picks and hoping that they stick. Because when they don't, because they're 4th round picks for a reason, because they have flaws, right? This is what happens. Spend the money on some solid veterans, right? Or higher picks with some higher talent.
Yeah, or trade up and get better prospects.
Yeah. So, we shot ourselves in the foot with that. But I mean, like I said, we still got Lamar. That's an X factor. Their secondary is banged up as well. So if the O-line can hold up long enough, we can make it a game. We can make it a game. Mr. Jada6 says Lamar jukes, spins, and evades. Josh looks for contact. Which one will prevail this Sunday? Sunday. Good point. And somebody else is making a point too that Josh Allen is a more physical quarterback. Like you say, he plays a lot like Cam. He's being coached by one of Cam's old coaches. Well, defensive coordinator.
Well, Ken Dorsey's there as well. He was Cam's quarterback coach early on. So yeah, I just saw a clip of Cam when he was at Florida, for that short period there, and he got the ball and he turned the corner and he ran over a linebacker, and Tim Tebow was on the sidelines going crazy. It was wild. He was massive. But that's that's the game that Josh Allen has. So yeah, I mean, Patrick Queen, you better show up and wrap up this week.
Filthy says Josh Allen versus Ravens only averaged 12 points in both his matchups. What did Lamar average in those games? Right, you're talking about Josh Allen's second year, and then the third year we went to the playoffs, right? And that was a very windy game. I mean, neither one of them did a whole lot.
Yeah, that was a terrible weather game. But Baltimore scored 3 points in that game.
Right. So I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying? Those aren't the best games to to measure them by. Both of them have made leaps and bounds. I mean, I know that's crazy to say about Lamar, who's already been a league MVP, but he looks like he's taking it to another level.
Yeah.
Right. But make no mistakes, Josh Allen he's right there too.
Well, no, so I guess this is not including the playoff game. They've played Baltimore twice in the regular season.
Okay.
But I don't have the specific games up here.
Okay. Let's see. 50 said, I wish we still had Elliott at safety. He would make Allen think twice about seeking out contact. Hey,
I bet you he wouldn't.
Look, I mean, whether he may pay for it or not, I mean, this is how Allen plays.
Yeah. Look, not to say that Elliott wasn't a good player and wouldn't have the impact, but I mean that's Josh Allen's game. You're not going to make him not do it.
What's up, Gold Man? This is what I'm talking about. He said, "What's up, LBHT? I got Owe terrorizing Josh Allen."
Is that before or after the game?
I love the confidence. I need to see Owe beat single protection. Okay, I need to see him not roll his way into like into the arms of another of a left tackle. He's looked real soft, like my man Eve's been saying, soft, right? He needs to do something out there. He's been looking terrible, but maybe this is a breakout game. We need Owe to do something. I'm going to remind everybody, this is a first round pick. Okay, a first round pick that we looked at his 40 time and said, did you see that 4.3 40? Man, what we could do with that. He teased us a little bit last year. I thought he had a solid year, but he regressed.
Yeah, he's the guy that made the front office sell letting go of Judon and Ngakoue.
That was a mistake.
3 sacks and 2 fumbles. Okay, I mean,
I like it, go man.
Let's calm it down a little bit, maybe. I mean,
I like it, go man. Yo,
you're talking about nearly doubling his career total in sacks in this one game.
What's up, JP? He says 28-21 Ravens. I guess we got to give our score predictions. 28-21 Ravens. I think Marcus Williams is the X factor. He's been the X factor so far. Well, he's been the only thing on defense so far. He's an X factor in mitigating big plays for the Bills offense. Lamar continues to reinforce his excellence as a man on a mission. He is definitely a man on a mission. I don't think Lamar is going to have like a really bad game. He might have a game that's a little bit lower than the rest, but he's not going to have a bad game this year.
Yeah. I think we got to wait to give the scores until we actually do our week 4 picks.
Okay.
Go man, I'm having fun. Yeah, I know. Hopefully always.
I hope you're right.
Hopefully he does. I'm pulling for Owe. It just hasn't looked good so far this year.
Shout out to Andre Miz says, I miss Judon, but Yannick, no, he was doing the same thing always doing now. That is incorrect. You know what
he was playing far better than Owe is right now.
Yes. And when he wasn't getting sacks, he was getting QB hits, he was getting hurries, always doing nothing. Right? You know what Yannick did last year? What did he get? Like 10 sacks? Yeah, 10 sacks. Both of our edge rushers had double-digit sacks. All right. Even this year, he has like 1 or 2 sacks. Owe has done nothing. All right. Owe is not Yannick. He is not Judon. Okay. He is not any of the guys that we like. He's not Zadarius Smith. He's none of those guys.
No.
All right. And that's some of the issues I've been having with like how we hype up our players is we project a lot onto these players without them actually proving stuff. All right. Nah, man, he gonna have to prove it. You got drafted way too high. I can give more leniency to Prochet, right? But you got drafted in the first round, my man. You got to do better than 0. So
yeah, let
this be the game where you break out. Okay. Wait, did Copeland get a sack? Yeah, he did get a sack, old man. Yep, he did get a sack last week. Darius says, "Oh wait, no way." Oh, here we go. I'm not trashing him. I'm not saying he's a bust yet, but I'm saying he gotta pick it up.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. All right, D Weezy is here, and let me give a shout out to Jerome Bigby real quick. He says, "Yeah, Jason got to get it together."
Don't call that man Jason. That's disrespectful.
He likes to be called Odafe. That's his name. That's what we're gonna call him. This is what we're gonna call him. Agent E says he believes in Oway. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That's what the T. Here we go with the joke. Says Oway is not even Julius Peppers. All right, 53 people in here. Go ahead and hit that like button. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. I see a couple people over on Twitch. I see a couple people over on Facebook. If you would, if you don't mind, go ahead and hit the like over there as well. Black Daniel says, "Oh wait, moving the slow way." Wow,
not nice.
All right, it is time for you gambling degenerates to get your pen and papers ready, because D Weezy, he's got some hotness for you. All right, D Weezy, what is going on, my friend?
What's going on, fellas?
And he got the Panthers jersey on. He's ready.
Yes.
What
All right. So I believe I was 2-2 last week. I know off the top of my head I hit off the Ravens games, but jumping into this week, yeah, as far as that Ravens game, I'm be on the other side with the -3.5 in the Bills. Y'all heard me say it before in the matchup with Miami. I believe a lot of this game is going to come down to the Ravens secondary, and can they stop the offensive attack of the Buffalo Bills? I don't think they will. I do think Lamar will have a good performance, as y'all were mentioning. I think we could see his continued success in the run game, whether it be through scrambling or actual designed runs. But yeah, moving on to my next game. We got the Panthers taking on the Cardinals, and if you look at some of their past matchups, you do see the Panthers have dominated this. But something I'm looking at, people want to mention last year's matchup. Well, we don't have Cam, and they didn't have Kyler Murray in that game. This year, we're talking about a team that offensively has gone 2-12, 4-11, and 4-14 in third down conversions in their games through 3 weeks. And that's just, you need more offensive consistency to keep up with a team that's putting up over 300 points a game. 300 yards a game. And I believe that the Cardinals are going to cover in this. Double check. I took it on the money line. You're going to probably find it on the spread being a very close game. -1, -2 in that range. I got the Cardinals at +103. And, as I said, I think there'll be a lot of people that may lean towards the Panthers in this game looking at the history, but in my opinion, the history is misleading. Going into the other games I got for this week, I'm going to be riding with the Vikings -2.5 as they take on, I believe it's the Patriots. Excuse me, the Saints. We saw this past week, the Saints have not figured out what they're doing offensively. I believe Minnesota's, as far as offensively, between Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook, they'll definitely be able to win this game by more than a field goal. And then for my other game, I have the Cleveland Browns -2.5 against the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons are probably going to be one of the worst teams this year. And I wouldn't be shocked to see Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, whether it be through the rushing game or even more so through the passing game, eat up in this game. We've seen Chubb rack up TDs early on, and I think that could continue, and they cover this -2.5 pretty easy.
The Mariota hate, it just disgusts me.
I didn't. That wasn't directed at Mariota, but I'm sorry. Just because the man can throw a TD pass to himself and can fall down and still complete a pass for a first down does not mean the team will win the game.
All right. I'm just going to say they're 1-2. It's not the best record, right? It's whatever. They're 1-2, and the Browns lost to the Jets. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. Kyle Pitts going to go off this week. That's all I'm going to say. Falcons all the way.
Jose, you're muted.
My bad. You got your Panthers jersey on, D Weezy. Give us a score prediction for the Panthers. We're getting ready to talk Panthers in a minute. Oh. Give us a score prediction.
I think this one could be ugly. I think we could see something along the lines of 31-13. Somewhere
31-13?
Yeah.
From the Cardinals?
Yes.
Wow.
All right.
We're talking about an offense that has all right. When the offense can't consistently stay on the field, you're giving the other team more opportunities. And even as bad as the Cardinals have played, they're still putting up over 330 yards a game.
This is a good point.
And
Mm-hmm.
I would not be shocked to see this team put up. Yeah, if we're throwing out numbers, somewhere in the range of 450 offensive yards when it's all said and done. Um, Now, if the defense can step up and we do see some level of production out of the offense, that could keep the score on the lower end. But yeah, I would not be shocked if the Cardinals are able to go out with Kyler Murray and rack up a number of points.
Yeah, B was sending me this stat today about the Panthers. What was it? It was
I was gonna mention when we talked about it, but that they are, I believe it was first in neutral situation pace. So they run plays faster than everybody in the league, just about, in neutral game situations. And they are 31st in the league in number of plays run. So they get out there real quick, run their 3 plays, and then get back to the sideline.
they give the other team a whole lot of time. And just thinking about that makes me think about the Giants game, right? How had they just taken their time, right, stretched the game out a little bit, they probably could have come out with that win. But they gave the Giants way too many opportunities, right, to get ahead. So
yeah, first in neutral situation pace and 31st in plays run. And the way they put it was in a real big hurry to get off the field.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And I mean,
All
and
right.
that's accurate with what we've seen out of this offense. You heard me reference the third down rates for the past 3 games.
mhm.
And in these games, they were not going up against strong offenses or teams that you would look at and expect a strong offensive performance. And they haven't been able to keep up for the most part.
Yeah.
All right, D Weezy, real quick, let everybody know where they can get some more of these hot bets.
Yes, y'all can reach me at Backyard Action Media here on YouTube, where I'll be dropping a lot of betting content, and I also will be putting something out with Ravens Online on Gatekeeper for his weekly video, so y'all can keep your eyes out for that, as well as with the LGR Network and my man Caleb. And also, I'm doing Panther articles for the LBHTShow.com. So if that's something you're interested in for y'all Panther fans out there, definitely check that out, because the fellas can tell you I do not have generic takes when it comes to the Panthers. I was one that was calling for Joe Brady's head before it happened, and a variety of different things. I didn't have high hopes on the Panthers coming into this season, even with all the noise we heard surrounding them. So make sure to check out that stuff. And everybody out there, make sure to take care, y'all.
All right. And you can also find D Weezy in our Discord. We'll tell you how to get there. He has his own channel, Lunch Money Bets. And like he said, LBHTShow.com is where he writes his articles on Panthers. We'll tell you more about that in a minute as well. And he will be hanging out with us on the Overtime Show, which will happen right after this show. So D Weezy, appreciate you coming through, and we will see you soon, my friend.
All right.
You forgot to mention your Patreon, I believe. I want to make sure that I have it correct there on the ticker.
Yes.
Yes. If y'all want to get exclusive access to some of my betting takes, sign up at patreon.com/BAM news. And that's one of the perks of being a Patreon member. You can get more direct takes on whether it be specific matchups or games, or potentially whatever I might have going that day or just at that time, because the fellas can tell you I got plays and bets on deck 24 hours a day.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. All right, D Weezy. Catch you in a minute.
Thanks, Terry.
All right. Yes. Look, D Weezy, look, he gives you the real on the takes, on the bets, even if it's at the expense of his own team. Okay. He keeps it real. Now, as I mentioned, right below me, patreon.com/LBHT Show. Okay. I mentioned the Discord where D Weezy has a channel. I mentioned the Overtime Show. All this are benefits that you can get by signing up to patreon.com/LBHT Show for as little as $3 a month. But we have 3 tiers, okay? And B is going to tell you about those tiers real quick.
Yeah, so for the $3 tier, it's a general support tier, but also gets you access to our NFL Pick'em League, where we give away a custom LBHT trophy at the end of the season. The $10 tier will get you the LBHT Crew coin while supplies last. It'll also get you into our fantasy football league. We have a dynasty league, and we do a redraft league every year. For the dynasty league, we give away the custom championship belt that you can see right here. And each year for the first 4 seasons, the winner gets to pick or put their logo on the side plates, give it a little sense of history there. Also, if you're in the $10 tier, you can request specific content, either articles or videos on any sports topic that you would like. And we also have the $20 tier, which is a combined tier for this show, as well as our boxing podcast, Ring Kings podcast that we do with OTR Mike. So that gives you everything that I mentioned.
OTR Mike, the current Pick'em champion. OTR Mike.
Get that off screen real quick. You also get the custom poker deck featuring our top 25 fighters of all time. We did a 5-part series. Definitely check that out if you're into boxing. And all of the tiers will get you into the overtime show that we do after the live show every week, as well as entrance into our Discord channel.
Now, speaking of overtime and Discord, this is one of the perks that you get from being part of this community. Our friend Just Aloe says, y'all remember Ice Milk? Okay. Just Aloe is like 150 years old. Okay.
That's not nice.
And well, he's the one. He's like, do you guys remember riding on a horse to get to school?
My man came in the OT one day. He was like, y'all remember round Pop-Tarts?
Round Pop-Tarts. This was a thing. They were called something else, but they were round Pop-Tarts. Yeah. Like, no, I don't remember Ice Milk. Hey, appreciate you, Just Aloe. Man, we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun in the overtime show, man. Speaking of the overtime show, so before we changed the structure a little bit. It used to be more of a hangout. We still do the hangout a little bit. We have members come on and chime in on certain topics, and then we do a little hangout after the show sometimes. But what we like to do is give you guys some extra stories that we know we're not going to get to on this show anymore. So I want to give you a little preview. Just how it says, them round Pop-Tarts were good, man. I bet. But I want to give you a preview of tonight's show, some topics that we're going to discuss. So
I'm sorry, I just can't imagine the shock when you go to the store and they're rectangles for the first time. Like that had to be a moment, right?
That's what happened. Mind blown. Yes. They probably looked at that box, put it down, and ran home like, listen, we family meeting, family huddle. We gotta discuss this. Those Pop-Tarts they're rectangle now. What are we gonna do about this? Okay. Do we have all the safety measures in place?
All we can do is just try to live our lives.
All right. Quick preview of tonight's show, tonight's overtime show. There it is. Real quick. You saw some people on that screen. What was that? That was KD with a smile on his face as he was answering questions at Media Day. Okay. He had some very candid responses to some straight questions about this offseason. And I like the answers that he gave, to be honest, but we'll go more into that. The other person in the green is current quote unquote current head coach. He's not fired. Current head coach of the Boston Celtics, Ime Udoka.
That wasn't Celtic green, mind you. That was green for greed,
or the money they're still paying them for not coaching. If you haven't heard about him, he has been suspended for a year for inappropriate relationships with co-workers, I guess is what you can call it.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't something that's uncommon in NBA circles, but it was who he was messing with. that got him in.
He's suspended for being out of pocket.
For being way out of pocket, and we're going to discuss that in the overtime show. And that other little image that you saw, I'll put it up one more time so you can see. Oh, who was that guy? He looks a little familiar. Is that Mark Hamill? That is Mark Hamill. Is that a movie? No, it's not a movie. It's a video game. What video game? It's a video game that's been, it's been in production for over a decade, but it still hasn't come out yet. Yes. But you'll be happy to know it has raised over $500 million. What are we talking about? What? A game that's been in the works for 10 years, has not been released, and has raised over $500 million. You got to tune into the overtime show to find out about that. All right. Yes. Yeah, Black Daniels can't believe what's going on here. He says, excuse me, round Pop-Tarts? Yeah. See, like I said, I never knew those round ones. I didn't know either. Just Aloe, he put us on game. Okay. Yes, Pepperidge Farms remembers. Yes.
And listen, you don't even want to know about the Skittles video that our guy Sterling dropped in the Discord. It's all kinds of food knowledge. And that's why we're lunch break hot take, right? Apparently, that's what we found. What's what we're finding out as we go along. It's not because it's coming out at lunchtime. It's because the members have all kinds of food knowledge and they just share it.
Listen, we got into on-air debate with Suge Knight 323 about who stole who style, right? Because he was a big Power Rangers fan, and we said all Power Rangers is Voltron. Okay, they bit off of Voltron, and just Alice said no, they are all copies. Oh, what was it, Ultraman or something like that?
Ultraman, I believe, yeah,
of like 1950 something. And I saw the picture, I was like, yeah, yes, yeah, you're right. You win.
This too. Almond Smash.
Yes.
Listen, just stop giving it away. All right.
Yeah.
This is Patreon stuff. All right.
All right. Okay. All right. We discussed enough. We didn't even tell people where to get the merch real quick, man. All right. LBHTShow.com/shop. Okay. That's where you can get the current merch. That's going to be changing in the near future. Some of that stuff will stay the same. Some will be different, but go ahead and cop something while still there. Also, you see the merch shelf. If you're watching on YouTube, if you look below, you see you'll probably see some Panthers stuff. I didn't upload that picture still. I need to do that. But this is one of the logos that you see now. That is our Raven City edition shirt. All that stuff you can get right below on that link that you see right below the video. Okay. Okay. B. Panthers, Bills. D Weezy got it started. Okay. He said it's going to be a beatdown. And yes, the hurry up to get off the field stat is a very alarm. That's a very unique. Like you have to practice that, right?
Yeah.
Like that takes a lot of practice to say, hurry up and win these plays so we can get up out of here. Okay.
Yeah. So Carolina, their offense is in shambles. They don't have any idea what they're doing. They don't know how to use any of the playmakers on the team. Ikwonu is, he's playing like a rookie. Nothing alarming there, but he's not a lockdown left tackle, obviously, at this point. The one thing that is shocking is Pat Elflein is actually performing as one of the better centers in the league so far. I've got my fingers crossed that holds up. I'm not expecting it to, but the thing that doesn't work, obviously, is Baker Mayfield. And you see this you saw this in Cleveland as well. He cannot get the ball to all his receivers. He just can't. He refuses to even attempt it. It seems like, he picks a couple of people, and those are his guys, and that's who he throws to. And usually, for whatever reason, the most talented receiver is not in that group. And that's what's happening here again right now with DJ Moore. DJ is having a very slow start to the season thanks to Baker Mayfield. We'll see if they're able to get that worked out.
I heard somebody on Twitter say that it ain't all on Baker. Like DJ hasn't been getting enough separation.
Listen. They tried to say that. They said that nonsense in Cleveland too. Oh, it's on Odell. and then Odell left, and he was dominating.
and Odell was everything you remembered him to be.
Baker Mayfield is a garbage quarterback. He's not good. That's all there is to it.
That is true.
I mean, Christian McCaffrey's out here. You know, we all know that the only question about Christian McCaffrey is he going to get hurt? Because otherwise, he is one of the top 5 players in the NFL. Period. He's that talented. Yeah. And Baker refuses to throw him the ball. This is a guy who had 1,000 yards receiving a couple years ago.
Y'all crack me up. Black Dan says Maker Bayfield.
Yeah, you know, they refuse to throw Christian the ball, and you know he's getting it going a little bit in the run game, but you're significantly decreasing his value by not throwing the ball to Christian McCaffrey. You know, so your 2 best players in DJ Moore and Christian McCaffrey are not being utilized to their full extent, right? And I mean, it's not like they're Tampa Bay or Cincinnati or the Chiefs or the Dolphins. Like, they don't have a lot of playmakers outside of those guys,
right?
So if you're not using DJ Moore and you're not using Christian McCaffrey, what's left? It's, you know, a couple weeks that Robbie Anderson decides to show up, and that's about it.
Robbie Anderson and Asta LaVisca. Shout out to D Weezy. Yes. Lord. I wish I had that clip ready. Listen. If you don't know what he's referring to, that is from the Spanish broadcast, and that's what they said on there. They were very hyped about that play. That was a good play. I mean, you don't have to like it. That was a good play. But I just want to tell you, if you have the opportunity to watch a game in a Spanish broadcast, you don't have to understand Spanish. I promise you, you're going to have a lot more fun. You're going to have a lot more fun. It's so much more enjoyable. Every other country outside the U.S. knows how to enjoy sports more than us. Okay, we are so lame. We have
very few announcers who are willing to put the emotion into their broadcasting that sports requires. It's an emotional medium, right?
Yeah.
And you know, you have guys out there like Collinsworth and Al Michaels and Costas. I mean, Costas doesn't really do it anymore, but they're just, you know, they're trying to all sound the same. They're trying to be professional and non-offensive, and you know, they just sound
and dry.
The same. Yeah. And that's not what sports calls for. You know, I told you yesterday when we were talking about it, Gus Johnson, when somebody makes a jumper and Gus Johnson screams "Rise and Fire," that translates into every language. You don't have to know English to know what he's talking about then.
Nope.
You know, you don't have to know Spanish to know what hasta la vista means.
Listen,
right?
You want to know the equivalent. I say this all the time. I say his name all the time. If the NFL were to hire Jim Ross to call Monday night games, that would be the best experience in the world. Let Jim Ross call a football game. That is what it's like watching these Spanish broadcasts. That's what I do now. I'm tell you why I watch Spanish broadcasts now. I'm not a native Spanish speaker. I understand a fair amount, right? But I was watching that trash ESPN app one day, and the game just wouldn't, the English broadcast wouldn't come in clear. It's just real choppy. So I said, all right, let me go over to the Spanish broadcast, see if it's having the same issue. Nope. Crystal clear, perfect HD. So I started watching it, and it was a Colts game. I forgot who they were playing, but I remember Jonathan Taylor went off, and I just noticed like they were having so much fun with it. Like every first down, they were getting excited. You know, they're calling the players by their full name. So like, you know, Carson Wentz was like Carson James Wentz, right? Like they were having so much fun, and I was just cracking up, and I was like, this is way better than that corny Monday night broadcast. I'm not even sure who's on there now because I turn my volume down when they're on TV, right? Yeah. Watch Spanish broadcast. I promise you will you'll thank me for it. You'll thank me for it. What's up, Don C? Don C says, Fox sucks. 100% agree. Yeah, Fox is terrible, right?
Yeah, like you had Jim Ross. Imagine Jim Ross calling that Baltimore and Detroit game. And just imagine he's a Lions announcer, and Justin Tucker kicks that field goal, and he's like, "Not like this,
not like this." In fact,
Justin Tucker's music.
It needs to be him and King Lawler calling the games. It's the King Lawler, Jerry Lawler, right?
Jerry the King,
Jerry the King Lawler. It needs to be those guys calling the games. You would watch every single one. Just Alice says, by the way, guys, do you know if the Thursday night games are broadcast on local TV like they used to be?
I don't know. I want to say no. I don't think they are. They're on Prime and I believe NFL Network. I'm not sure if they're on locally. It's Cade.
It's Cade. Can you imagine that for every sack? It's Oweh. We got the sack.
These are just examples of what we would never hear.
Well, yes, yeah. I mean, we're never going to hear Jim Ross, and we're not going to hear Oweh. It's an all-time slobber knocker. Look, man, you guys see the vision. You guys get it. Yeah. You get it.
Baker Mayfield comes out the game and they send somebody else in. He's like, business is about to pick up.
The other thing I want to point out is somebody said hashtag Golden Corral. Golden Corral is out for the season. He got hurt. Otherwise, I think they would be looking to see what he has, because you know what you have in Baker. You got nothing. Baker did less than what I expected him to do, and it wasn't that much. I thought he would play, especially in that first game. He would play some of his best football because he wanted to show up his old team. And then, that carry on to the next couple of games, and then he'll cool off. And he just said, no, I'll just stay at cool.
I knew Noah would like this.
Good God. Almighty good God. Almighty Tucker just made history, ladies and gentlemen. This will go down in history forever. What's up, Sterling says, what on earth is a slobber knocker?
It's a fight that be knocking the slobber out of your mouth.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's a Jim Ross term right there. Okay, that's the first place I heard it. I'm sure he didn't come up with it, but that's the first place I heard it. Yes. I
love them injury reports too. Yeah, JK, he's on the sidelines. He's probably not going to come back in. He took a hit and he injured that lateral collateral. Not going to be able to get back into it. Justin Herbert, he's on the sidelines right now. He took a blow to the solar plexus. I don't think.
Every tackle, spear. Oh man. All right. Okay. So predictions, I guess.
JK gonna have to come out next week with that giant thing of white tape on his ribs just to let him know. Let's get to the predictions. Look. Just to finish up with Carolina, the defense is gonna have to win the game for them, essentially, right? Like Derek mentioned, Cardinals didn't have Kyler Murray last year. We don't have the lift of bringing back Cam Newton. He can score a couple touchdowns in 5 plays. So it's going to be on the young defense to go out there and stop Hollywood Brown, who, by the way, I should have uploaded the picture, but I don't know how many of you saw it. You were in here crushing Hollywood for dropping the ball. He's actually leading the league in most targets without a drop, according to Pro Football Focus. Ooh. So again, just be mindful of where you're getting drop numbers from, because they all count them differently. Hollywood's out there. They've got Zach Ertz. James Conner, I believe, is going to be back and healthy. And this is kind of make or break for Arizona. This is a must-win game for them. So you got to expect that you're going to get their best effort. Carolina, I think, they won their Super Bowl last week. They saved Matt Rule's job. They beat the Saints. I think you'll see a bit of a come down from them. I'm expecting an Arizona win. I won't say the score just now, but
okay, we're gonna save it for okay.
Yeah. If Carolina wants to win this game, it's going to be on the defensive side of the ball. It's going to be making it a really low-scoring game and hoping that Baker and the offense can get 1 or 2 big plays out of there.
Yeah, the Cardinals haven't looked great either.
Nope.
All right. Who did they lose to? The Rams?
They lost to the Rams. They lost to the Chiefs, and they
beat the Raiders.
Beat the Raiders, yeah.
They beat the Raiders. Look, the one thing I'll say about them is that stat of Carolina's, hurry up to get off the field stat is what I call it, right? That is not good for a team like this, because what they do well is throw the ball a whole lot. and they can be getting blown out, and they're still gonna throw the ball. They're going to score at some point, and if you're giving them plenty of opportunities, they're gonna score on you, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. They're going to end up getting points. So if they can find a way to slow it down, that's what the Panthers really need to do now. Is just slow it down. Get Christian McCaffrey more involved. How many carries is he getting?
Well, and Chuba Hubbard, and they brought in Deonta Foreman. Deonta Foreman doesn't even play.
Yeah,
like, he doesn't even get on the field. Like you have these three. I mean, they're not. It's not like a Cleveland Browns situation in the backfield, but you've got three decent running backs. Well, one great running back and two decent running backs. Get them the ball.
Appreciate you, Don C. Thanks for coming through, man.
Thank you, Don.
Yeah.
But yeah, get on the ball and try to control the game that way, because letting Baker just go out there and be bad at football is not going to win you any games.
All right, and we just got a donation from Suge Knight 1323 over on Twitch. Said, "Did I just miss pun Brodny? What's up, LBHT crew? Hope you all are having a great day. See everyone in the overtime show. Yes, Brodny, you see that Deadpool trailer? Much love. Hey, we can talk about that too. We can add that to the
Thank
list.
you, Shug. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Shug.
I didn't see a trailer. I saw Ryan Reynolds and
little teaser.
Hugh Jackman talking about it.
Yeah.
Very excited for that.
Yes. Okay. Christian McCaffrey, you brought up something about his injury, right? Because I saw him on the injury report, and you said, like, if he stays healthy,
he's fine. He normally gets Wednesdays off every week anyway. They said he had a little bit of a thigh issue. I don't think it's anything to actually be concerned about.
The thing with Christian McCaffrey, I think, it's one of those things. Running backs especially, they get dinged up a lot, and there are things that they can play through and things that they can't play through. But if there's no reason to play through it, they're not going to play through it, right? So I think that's what you're seeing a lot with Christian McCaffrey. It's, I'm going to preserve myself for that next contract after Carolina, because they gave him a huge contract. And the team is not looking good. And, look, maybe they trade him, or, his contract comes up and he has to get a job with somewhere else. And that next stop is going to be, he's going to make sure it's someplace that's competing, and he wants to be able to give all he can give at that point. So
yeah, I think that's definitely what it is. It's not like he was knocked out for the season. It's like Lamar Jackson. Okay. Yeah. Last year at the end of the season, if they weren't losing every single week, he probably could have come back. Right. Yeah. But it wasn't going well. Every week it was less of a chance they were going to make the playoffs. And he's like, whatever, I'm just going to wait.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait till I'm healthy. Christian McCaffrey, you're looking at a team that's won 5 games 3 years in a row. Yeah. So what are you rushing back for? And we see this year, he's got 50 carries. You had asked, he's got 60 touches through 3 games. So he's getting 20 touches a game. He's got 50 carries for 243 yards. So he's averaging almost 5 yards a carry. But he's only got 10 catches so far through the 3 games. This is a guy who would catch 10 balls a week, essentially, if you let him, right? He would get double-digit targets every week when they had a competent coaching staff. Right. So this is they're wasting Christian McCaffrey at this point. Yeah. They're wasting DJ Moore at this point. And I don't really see that turning around. And that's why I say, it's going to be on the defense if they're really going to have a shot at winning this game.
Oh, Darius says CMC to Baltimore. I would love that. I bet you he would get that run game going.
Who's gonna throw to him, Darius?
When
Lamar's in Miami?
No, not happening.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, no, I'm confused because what I've learned from Baltimore is that you can't afford more than 1 star. So if you trade for CMC,
here we go.
Then Lamar has to go. Yes?
Here you go. Mikey gets a brand new podcast and he already making demands. Okay, says I need mod status, fellas. Wow. Put some respect on my name.
Wow.
Oh, I almost put you in timeout. My bad. I was trying to give him mod status. Hold on. I got your mod status right here.
This whole show is in shambles, right along with the Panthers offense.
All right, look, we gotta do predictions. Hold on, let me see if I can.
We gotta get out of here.
All right, you are added, my friend. You are now a mod. Okay. Don't go Nightbot on us.
All right. So,
Okay. NFL
week
predictions.
4.
Week 4. Okay, you got it. Okay. Shout out to what's it called? Printyourpicks.com. Printyourpicks.com. That's where I got this from.
Yes.
They're not giving us a sponsor, but I'm stealing their stuff. So I'm gonna give them a shout out.
That's not stealing.
I'm not stealing.
Jeez. It's not like it's a thumbnail or description.
All right. We're gonna go rapid fire. We're gonna go rapid fire here. All right.
About to throw it in a hyperdrive.
Miami at Cincinnati.
Miami, Cincinnati all day.
I got Miami.
You don't pick the road team in Thursday night games. Minnesota, New Orleans. Justin Jefferson gets back on track. Minnesota wins that one.
Yes, Minnesota.
Cleveland and Atlanta. Derek is all wrong on this. Marcus Mariota, Kyle Pitts, Drake London for the win.
Cleveland.
They almost lost to Carolina. They did lose to the Jets. They're going to lose to Atlanta. Washington and Dallas. I mean, I would hate to pick a backup quarterback to be 3-0, but I'm about to do it. Dallas winning that one.
Yeah, I got Dallas. At Dallas too. At Jerry World.
Yeah. Seattle at Detroit. See, Geno. I'm pulling for Geno, and Geno's not even playing. He's not playing bad. But I've got to go with the kneecappers at
home. Yeah, Detroit. They should have pulled out that Minnesota game.
Tennessee at Indianapolis. The Colts with a major upset last week over the Chiefs. That's about it for them. Tennessee wins.
Nope, I got Indy.
Chicago at the Giants. The Giants are coming back down to earth, but the Chicago Bears never really lifted off. So I'm going to say the Giants in this one, as much as it pains me.
I think we're going to be seeing Brian Daboll dancing in the locker room again. I got the Giants.
Jacksonville at Philly. I think this is a low-key game of the week contender here.
What's up, Danity?
Hey, Danity, how you doing? I'm going to say the Eagles keep it rolling. Jacksonville's not quite on their level.
Yeah, I'm going to go Eagles, but I have been impressed with what I've seen from Jacksonville. But yes, Eagles.
Jets at Pittsburgh. Zach Wilson's back, so that's easy win for Pitt.
Yes, Pittsburgh.
Buffalo at Baltimore. We talked about this one a lot. We've been going back and forth. I am taking the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson to win this one in a semi shootout. I'm gonna say 28-24 Baltimore.
Oh, you disappoint me, B. I thought you were going to say slobber knocker. Listen, I told you guys for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, really, that I'm not picking Baltimore. I don't care what happens. I'm not picking them. It's not happening. I don't care what you say. I'm not picking them. I'm telling you right now, I'm not picking them. I'm picking Baltimore. Oh, I'm picking Baltimore.
A man of the word, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we keep all our promises around here. Yeah.
I did add that caveat that I find a way to talk myself out of it, and I did. Look, Buffalo came down to earth a little bit last week, right? I mean, I'm sure you listen to the Buffalo fans. They will tell you that wasn't their best game. They should have had that one. Yeah, for sure. But you didn't blow them out like I thought you were going to. So, look, the injuries on defense, the lack of run game kind of caught up to him a little bit. I see some opportunities there. Lamar is going to continue his MVP run. I think Josh Allen going to play a great game too. I'm going to say the score is going to be 38-31 Ravens.
Okay. The Chargers at Houston. I think Justin Herbert will be back in form, and this is an absolute must-win for the Chargers. I'm taking them on the road.
I got Houston.
Okay. Arizona at Carolina. Like I said, I think the defense has to win this one for Carolina. I don't think they will. I'm taking Arizona, and I'm taking them 24-10.
Wow. That's a good score, man. I got Arizona 21-10.
It's biting. New England at Green Bay. Mac Jones ain't it, and Brian Hoyer did not beat him out for that job, which means he's even less it. So I'm definitely taking the Packers, and I think the Packers win big. Let me be clear. If Mike and Hendo complete this 3-team trade, I'm saying the Packers go off for like 45. If they don't, it's going to be like 20, but it's going to be a Packers win either way.
Yeah, Green Bay's going to win big. That's going to be a beatdown. You're going to see that dude Romeo Dubs.
I'm not sure how to say it.
Yeah, he's going to have like 3 touchdowns.
Denver at Las Vegas. This is a must-win for both teams, really. The Raiders are winless. I think they're the only winless team in the league at this point. They've got to figure out how to get Devontae Adams involved, which is not a sentence you should ever have to say about anybody, especially an offensive genius like Josh McDaniels. Russell Wilson has been playing like trash, and we know why. If you've seen his Subway commercial, he's been busy serial murdering people.
You guys see that there is a somebody spoofed that Subway commercial is great. I wish
they didn't even spoof it. It's just they just put music to it.
That's a spoof.
He did all the work himself. No, a spoof is when you remake it.
They did. They slowed down the talk.
No. But I'm just saying, like, it's just Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
and they did, they added some after effects. Like a spoof would be like your boy, what's his name, Lou Young, Broncos country. Let's ride. But yeah, no. So in this one, I think Russell gets back on track a little bit, and I think they beat the Raiders, and the Raiders drop to 0-4.
I agree. It's probably gonna be another 11-10 game, but they're gonna win, and I think we're going to be hearing about Josh McDaniels getting fired.
Yeah, they should. Kansas City at Tampa Bay. I think Kansas City beats the brakes off of Tampa Bay. Ooh. This is a big win for the Chiefs.
I'm not gonna say they're gonna beat the brakes. Bowles ain't gonna let that happen, but they are going to get the win. And then Monday night
game of the week, Monday night, the LA Rams and the San Francisco 49ers, led by Jimmy Garoppolo, now with Trey Lance out. Neither one of these teams has been particularly impressive, but I'm taking the Rams on the road. Because I flipped a coin and the Rams won.
I'm taking the Rams big in this one. Did you see Jimmy G last week?
I mean, you can point to any game of Jimmy G's and be like, did you see him? And I would believe, whatever you say, like, hey, he was great, or hey, he was terrible. Hey, he didn't know what the football was. Hey, he looked like Jerry Rice out there. I mean, whatever you tell me about Jimmy Garoppolo, I'll believe. Like, he's not, he's just he's a chameleon.
By Daniel says the Bay. And shout out to our guy, Jay in the Bay, who is a 49ers fan. He is also a YouTuber. Make sure you go over there and subscribe to him if you want some 49ers talk. It's all love to you, Jay. But you see him. you know what Jimmy G is going to do out there.
Jimmy G got beat last week. He had the biggest smile on his face right after the game. Like, he don't care.
He looked so relieved the game was over.
He and to be clear, I'm not saying he doesn't try. He goes out there and he does his job. He does his best. But he ain't taking it home with him.
Listen, man, I don't expect them to put any kind of emotion into it, man. Like, they've been trying to trade him. All right. They've been trying to trade him. Like, he knows he's not wanted there. All right. So he's just like, I'm being professional. And, I go out there, I do my job to my best of my ability, and then that's it. I go home. I don't take my work home with me. Yeah. I ain't mad at him. D Weezy says, didn't watch the game. Jimmy G ran out the back of the end zone. Yes.
He did. He was like Ray Lewis with that. He said that's 2 feet.
Yeah, he got both feet for Jimmy. Firmly planted out the end zone. All right. Bonus time. We're going to do a quick bonus time. You guys have anything you want to talk about, drop them in the comments. We'll discuss it for a few minutes, and then we are going to get this overtime show started. All right. One more time. If you didn't see the little sneak peek of what we're going to discuss in the overtime show, it is right here. Yes, there it is. All right. So, all right. We got, Open Mic says Jimmy got $350K after that game. Oh, that's right. He said, you be smiling too. For every For every game that he starts, he gets $350K. So that's the rest of the season, right? So yeah, he's stacking his chips right now. Yeah, I'd be smiling too. You're right. Bailey Got Beat says Lamar throw for 52 touchdowns this year minimum. He's on pace. Hey, he's on. Well, I mean, if we look at the schedule right now, who's the team that's going to slow him down? Right. I mean, obviously, he's not going to have he'll have a game here and there where maybe he only gets like 1 or 2 touchdowns, right? But I can see him keeping up his pace for the most part, 3 or 4 touchdowns a game. So, yeah, Bailey, I'm with you. I think 50 plus touchdowns is definitely total touchdowns. He's gonna go way past. He's gonna go way past that.
I don't think he has the receivers to support that.
He gonna make it work, man. He gonna make it work. Look, Duvernay's off to a good start. I think Bateman will get double digits. Mark Andrews will get double digits. Man, I think you're right. I don't think there's another. I can't see too many people get double digits. I think you might be right here. Yeah. J.K. Dobbins. Let's see here. Who do we draft? Isaiah Likely. Where can we get some touchdowns here? Prochet coming back anytime soon? Is Prochet going to play this week?
No. Like I don't know if he's hurt or not, but no, he's not going to play. What do you mean?
Man,
do they not have one of the best offenses in the league right now statistically? Why would he play?
Bunch of Auditor says, wait, Lamar's an MVP this week means more than MVP to me. There you go.
Oh, Lord. That's Mitchell Trubisky's trophy right there.
Let's see. Where's DeMarcus? I forgot he was on the team. That's a good question, Z the Beast. Where's DeMarcus Robinson?
He scored last week.
He did not score last week.
No, last week, the week before.
I ain't seen him get a catch. So I don't know.
I don't think he did in week 3. He scored a touchdown in week 2.
Yeah.
What do you mean? He's not good.
Noah said Josh Oliver going for 10 touchdowns. Okay. All right. I don't see it, but you know.
He knows that you're going to get about 40 touchdowns right out of that tight end unit.
Baseball Lifestyle says if our defense gets 3 turnovers, we win because Bill's running down the field. Yeah, three turn. I know we got like 4 turnovers this last game, but that's a lot to ask for. But you know, I take it back. It's not a lot to ask for. The defense got to do something because they're not going to be that defense I thought they're going to be. They're probably not going to be a top 10 defense if we're being honest. Definitely not top 5. So they're going to have to help in different ways. They're going to have to contribute in different ways. And first, forcing a lot of turnovers, which is what New Orleans did the year they won the Super Bowl. They forced the most turnovers in the league, I believe. If they can do that, if they can be that kind of team, yeah, then that's how they contribute, and that'll be very helpful. So yeah, 3 turnovers. I agree with you, Baseball Life. That's what they need to do. Force 3 turnovers. Don't worry about the yards. You're going to give up the yards. You're going to get a couple touchdowns. But if you can get turnovers and get the ball back for Lamar, that will get us the win. Just Allo says, James, healthy scratch Prochet. He's been hurt up until this point. At least they've been saying he's been hurt. But I did not see him on the injury report.
They lie about that all the time.
Yeah. I mean, how bad is his groin injury? Does he need surgery or like what's going on?
His groin's fine. He's just not going to play. And we talked about this before the season. The way that they were building this team, he was never going to play.
Yeah. He made an appearance on camera. Who did? Prochet? Yeah, he did. He did. He was on camera. Mr. J6 says, where's Prochet? Where's Tylen? Tylen, another one.
Slade didn't make the team.
Slade didn't make the team. Kohler is still hurt, I believe. He's on. I think he's on IR. Slated to come back. Yeah, so he can't come back yet. I'm interested to see if we get anything out of him.
Plenty of pregame motivation.
Yeah, I guess. Good blocking.
The Heisman. Academic Heisman.
Bailey Got Beat says they're being saved for the end of the season. Run when we need them and not put in harm's way. Who, Prochet? Hey. All right. Hey. Look.
Okay.
If they can help out, I'll take it. Hendo says Kohler being hurt from the college season. Yeah. Yeah. So look, we put a lot of we put a lot of faith in rookies and second year players.
for a coaching staff who doesn't like young players.
Yes. So, look, let's take a look at how do you guys feel about last year's draft class, by the way. C Dubster says Ravens released Mekhi Polk. Yes, they did release him. How you guys feel about last year's draft class? Because we were really excited at the time, right? I feel good about Bateman, right? He's playing well. Owe, when he ever decides to show up, maybe I'll get a little excited about him. Dalen Hayes has been cut. Brandon Stevens, solid. Ben Cleveland.
Most people would tell you not solid.
My bar for third and fourth and fifth round DBs is a lot lower. Okay.
Well, I'll say this: a third rounder, you should be expecting solid play from.
I think he should be. I think he has played solid.
Has he though?
Like, you can't expect him to cover number one wide receivers and lock them down. A solid player is a solid player. He's solid.
I think he's probably not solid, but I think he's trending towards solid.
Okay, all right.
I'll say that. I think he gets beat too much for a third round pick, but again, third round project, right, to go along with your first round projects.
Yeah. Sean Wade got traded immediately. That fullback we brought back, cut again. How you guys feel about that class? Not a good class. How you guys feeling about this class so far? I know it's only been 3 weeks. I see a lot of you guys really don't like Jalen Armour-Davis. That's harsh, right? Pepe Williams, I think we're a little bit higher on Pepe Williams. I think he's played solid. Kyle Hamilton made a play finally. I really like Tyler Linderbaum. I think Tyler Linderbaum is living up to expectations so far.
Here's the thing too about grading on a curve, right? Because Pepe hasn't been solid; he's been bad. But we're taking into account that he's a rookie and a fourth round pick and all that.
Yes.
But, excuse me. The thing about grading on a curve is it has you keeping guys around longer than you should.
Yes.
And that happens quite often where you're like, oh well, it's only his second year. Oh, it's only his third year. He's going to turn it around this year, and then it's end of the third year. We're like, okay, we got to replace this guy, right? Yeah. I mean, you remember, Washington radio, in Kirk Cousins, I believe it was like his fourth year. They said he's basically a rookie.
Basically a rookie
for someone who's been in the league for 4 years.
Yeah.
So at some point, you just got to grade what they actually do on the field, and don't put it on a curve and just say, hey, they're playing well or they're not.
Yeah. What's up, Kimberly Harmon? She says, hey, what's up? Sorry I'm late. Kimberly, whenever you show up, it is the right time. Thank you for coming through. Unfortunately, we are about to get out of here really soon. Yes. But you can always catch the replay. I appreciate you coming through. Make sure you guys hit that like button on your way out. And if you are new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Listen, we're putting out a lot of content. Okay. We're putting out a lot of content. We've been giving you a post-game reaction just about every game this year so far. That ain't gonna be every single game, but most games will give you a post-game reaction. We're doing weekly shows with Coach Evans on his channel, Set to Tally Films, every Monday night.
No, and, they do not. He got cut.
Do they still have Bridges on the roster? No, but every Monday night you can catch us on Set to Tally Films on Coach's stream. We do a Ravens roundtable. Yes, B is a Panthers fan, but his input is valued. So we have a lot of fun there. We have a good discussion about that week's game. So make sure you're subscribed over there. You can check us out over there. But yes, no 2 hour show, Buck. All right, but I mean, look, if you want to be on an overtime show, you can be on an overtime show. Okay, you can be on the show with us and talk about it. We're getting ready to start that up in 1 second. All right. Z to B says, do you believe Josh Bynes was the best player in the game last week? Because PFF does. He was pretty good. And PFF, man, you really got to take their grading with a grain of salt. Okay. They whiff on a lot of things. But I think for the linebacking stuff, and it's all right.
The further away from the ball they get, the more accurate they are, I think. Yeah, they're bad for the lines, but outside of that, they're pretty decent.
Yeah. Kimberly says Ravens really need to play hard to beat the Bills. Absolutely, they got to be on their A game. They had to. I think what's been helping them out, at least on the offensive side, up until this point, is they've been executing really well. I don't think the play calling has been particularly great. I don't think it's been horrendous, but I don't think it's been great. I just think we've been executing really well. And if they can keep that up, we have a very good chance to win. Just Alice says that show with Coach Evans is great. Hendo cracks me up. Yeah. All right. We will leave it there. It's an hour and a half. Thank you, everybody, for coming through. If you want to see more of us right now, patreon.com/LBHT Show. If you got as little as $3 in your pocket, $3, you can sign up and come chill with us on the Overtime Show. All right, we're gonna be discussing a little NBA. We're gonna be discussing some video games. Maybe we'll discuss that Deadpool trailer. All right, so come and hang out, have some fun with us. But if not, appreciate you coming through. Make sure you come through every Wednesday night at 7:15 p.m. And patrons, get ready. We're getting ready to start. B, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Thank you very much. Y'all have a great night, and we will see you next time. Peace out.